We just finished hosting our 6th Big Game Jam. What made this jam special was that every game needed to follow the theme Fix It, and needed to have some form of online multiplayer in their game, whether that was with the built-in multiplayer system in GDevelop, or any other method of connecting two players online. In this video, we'll be going over the top 10 community voted games, some honorable mentions, share the favorite game from our guest judge, Italo Ornillo, creator of Vai Juliet, which was the 2021 Mobile Game of the Year in Brazil that has well over 1 million downloads. And finally, we'll get to the top 5 judges' picks, which will be getting the prizes from our sponsors. Starting with the top 10 community voted games. Each team that gets a game into the top 10 community voted games will receive 1,000 in-engine credits divided among the team, and each team member will receive a special role on Discord to show off that they won. In 10th place, Feelings by Cryolis Dev and Rueni, which is a co-op puzzle platformer about a dysfunctional family and the little creatures helping them navigate their emotions, where you press buttons, wall jump, dash, and shoot your way to the end of the level. In 9th place is Breakdown Blitz by Roberto Ivy 01, where you and a friend must cooperate to keep your spaceship running while everything keeps breaking down, featuring different types of minigames for repairing the ship, and lots of dying in space. In 8th place, Doorway to Victory by TK Gamers 1, which is a competitive platformer game where you race to reach the end of the level while trying to trigger all of the pressure plates along the way. In 7th place, Avast by JJ Gamers 64, Skull, Tronix, and BP Mike, which is a cooperative mix of wave defense and fighting game, where you fight off incoming waves of pirates, while also trying to fix the holes getting blasted into the side of the ship. In 6th is Robot Out of Time by RDV vs. the World, where the clock tower isn't working and all of mankind appears to be stuck in time, so players work to finish levels and fix the clock tower. In 5th place, Derailed Desolation by Kravatov and Chaotic Frosty. In this game you work together with your teammates to fix the train you're on, while also collecting coal, fighting off hordes of rats, and trying not to get lost in the freezing blizzard. In 4th is Powerline Guardians by the Avi Gold and Jerfix, where you need to defend the power lines at all cost, eliminating waves of increasingly dangerous spider creatures, repairing any damaged wires, and ensuring the drills keep working until they've gathered enough ore. In 3rd place is Fort Frustration by Pixelpel, Hellfox, and Woodpecker Sound Design, where you defend a rickety fort surrounded by sheep that are far happier than you'll ever be. Goblins swarm in endless waves while you frantically mine gold from rocks, rebuild towers, and patch up houses before your fortress inevitably falls. In 2nd place is City Fix by Shraven127, which is a 2-player game where one player goes around fixing the city and the other goes around blowing it up. And the number 1 community voted game is Parts and Pals by CoolDev, which is a 2-player co-op game about tossing materials to your pal for them to use to craft the parts that are needed to fill the orders before time runs out. Now let's go over some honorable mentions. Games that might not have won a prize, but had something about them that made them stand out. Space Frontier Fixers, Kersey Plain, Barbarians, Fix Your Buddy, and Devil Kittens Co-op. Now before we get to the games in the top 5 judges' picks, we'll show off what those games could win. And that's where our sponsors come in, starting with Sprite, which is a pixel art and animation software with a wide variety of features. And every team in the top 5 judges' picks will receive a copy of Sprite. And then there's Spine, which is a 2D animation software primarily used to create skeletal animations for video games. And the first place judges pick will receive a Spine Essentials license. Then there's Fanatical, which is the go-to place to buy PC games, software, and bundles at great prices. And winning games in the top 4 spots of the judges' picks will be winning vouchers that they can use in the Fanatical store. And then there's Newgrounds, the birthplace of some of the most well-known indie developers and artists that we know today. The number 1 judge's pick will be featured on the homepage of Newgrounds. And then there are some cash and credit prizes from GDevelop. In 5th is Avast by JJ Games 64, Skull, Tronix, and BP Mike. It was a fun mix of defending and attacking, where you had to rely on your teammates to successfully complete their jobs to keep the boat from sinking. But the icing on top was definitely the voice acting.
Ahoy! Avast!
And this was also the favorite game of our guest judge, meaning they get the 5th place prize and credit that they can use for the GDevelop goodie store. In 4th place is Shipwrecked by Sleeping Colossus. It's the second pirate-themed game on the list, but this game required players to get more involved in repairs by making them physically carry the different components they needed to fix things. Often you would fix and work on things in pairs, as one person could bring up the lumber while the other person used the hammer. In 3rd place is Robots Out of Time by RDV vs. the World. This game's puzzles usually required a teammate and good timing, with some of them requiring players to wind each other up so they would get a speed boost to get by the different hazards in the level. In 2nd place is Robo Wrench by Milana Digital. This game felt like it had so much crammed into it that it might actually burst. You're fighting over a limited number of jobs to fix vehicles by diagnosing the issue they have, ordering the parts yourself, or stealing them from another player, and finally by beating a match 3 minigame as a skill check to see if you succeed. And the number 1 judge's pick is Powerline Guardians by The Avi Gold and Jerfix. With 3 different roles for the players to use, each person played in a distinctly different way, with the mechanics trying to keep their head down, while the defenders took on the bigger waves of enemies. And with the ability to revive other players, the game can have organic, intense moments where the last remaining player tries to kite enemies and get the other players back up so you can win the game.
Ano? Undead. No, boss. No, boss.
Cover.
Oh, no. It goes.
Shit, did it.
Thank you to everyone who took part in the jam. Whether you created a game, took part in playtesting or rating games, helped to moderate or organize the event, or if you happen to be one of the jam sponsors. We hope to see you all next time, where maybe we'll be showing off something you made.